and welcome to this special broadcast here on I-24 News. 246 days, one operation, 4 hostages alive, rescued, released. New details revealed on the unprecedented campaign, Operation Arnon, that's brought about the release of Noah Argamani, Almog Meir Jan, Andrei Koslov, and Shlomi Ziv, and named after Arnon Zmorat, the SWAT commander who was killed during the operation. The 4, all kidnapped by Hamas terrorists from the Nova Music Festival on October 7th, were held in 2 civilian houses 200 meters apart at the heart of the Nuseirat refugee camp and the heart of the Gaza Strip. The heroic operation bringing about a burst of glee throughout the country today, not forgetting for a split second that 120 hostages are still there in the hands of Hamas terrorists. And yet, tears of joy blurring alongside the tears of pain today. Take a look.
After 8 months of being apart from Noah has returned. I want to thank each and every one of you, the President, the Prime Minister, everyone, each and every person. Let us not forget that there are still 120 hostages. We must release them. We must make every effort, in every way possible, to bring them here to Israel, to their families. Once again, thank you very much. Thousands of thanks to each and every one who had a hand in this matter.
So that was the father of Noah Argamani, who celebrating his birthday today. The best possible gift, obviously, to get her back. And now we want to cross live to Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, where I-24 News correspondent Balir Sladin is standing at. Balir, what's the situation there on the ground? Obviously, the emotional roller coaster, that's the understatement, continues there as well tonight.
Yes, lots of emotions here today, and let's just let the picture speak, if we can say that. Thousands of people are gathering here today.
Medical Center. I-24 News correspondent Zach Anders joining us from there. Zach, 3 out of 4 are still there, and the reason Noah Argamani isn't is because she's now united with her mother, who, as Balir mentioned, has terminal cancer at a different hospital, but all 4 on their feet, getting treated. What are we hearing?
Yeah, I'll paint the picture here. As you were speaking to me, one of the women that just walked by sobbing, but big smile on her face as she heads in. Don't know if it's one of the family or friends, but this is the kind of thing we've seen all afternoon. We also saw at one point, I just lost my light, we saw at one point one of the women that came here to be in the crowd came out of the ER with a big cast on her hand and asked how things were going. And I said, well, what happened to your arm? And she said that she was so excited on her way to the hospital that she fell and broke her arm just steps away. So she just walked into the emergency room, had it taken care of.
A good location to
incredible
break your
stuff.
arm, yeah.
Right. Yes. So from what we can tell, the 3 are still in here. As you mentioned, Noah has been taken to Ishlav to be closer to her mother. They're all going to be observed overnight. The doctors here tell us that all of them in good health. We haven't received, like we did in the hostage round in November, a more a specific report about loss of weight, because you'll remember back in November that was something that they were paying a lot of attention to, especially with the elderly that had lost several pounds, several kilos.
In such a hero operation, and I would like in the same way also to participate, to send my condolences to the family of Arnon Zamora that lost his life, a hero from the special unit. And what the question that you asked me is the question that everybody is asking him. First of all, it means IDF proof. It's high professional way in order to create such operation, from intelligence, translating it to operation, to such details, and at the end to make it 11 o'clock in the morning in a place which IDF has not been there geographically, and enter there to different places, released the hostages, had a fight on the way back because one of the vehicles had been shot by the terrorist and was standing, and to take them outside to the helicopter. But now what will be the continuating? As being a military operational officer, you have only seconds, minutes to be happy after such operation. You have to take your minds to the future, and this is what the commanders of IDF has to do. IDF is full active now among Gaza and in readiness to the north. The issue is now what will be the Israeli policy in the future. In my opinion, the fact is that Israel even should to use this achievement to understand we are not going to release 120 people from hostages in Gaza in military operational. We have to continue on the way. We have to trust our army to give up, to stop, and renew when time is coming back. This is now coming back to the decision maker, I mean Prime Minister and the War Cabinet. We have to continue on our efforts of release.
So to that point exactly, let's welcome to our conversation Mr. Rami Igra, former head of the Mossad MIA unit. Thank you very much, Mr. Igra, for joining us tonight. And again, the culmination of an emotional day, which in itself was a culmination of weeks of preparations when it comes to this heroic and thankfully successful operation. And yet, Mr. Igra, how do you capitalize on the momentum and turn this tactical achievement, as important as it may be, and turn it into a strategic asset?
First of all, it's a very happy day for Israelis.
It is.
Not only because we have released these 4 hostages, but also we have regained, in a way, some of our trust in the IDF and its capabilities to achieve miracles. And this was evidently a miracle. The Hamas sees the hostages as a strategic weapon. With the hostages and with the withholding of the hostages, the Hamas is able to capitalize in Israeli society what it terms the undermining of the Israeli society.
Listen to what U.S. President Joe Biden had to say today in the aftermath of the successful operation. Obviously, the Americans were in the loop. This is what the American president had to say.
Welcoming the safe rescue of 4 hostages that were returned to their families in Israel. We won't stop working until all the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached. That is essential to happen. You know, together we marked the 88th anniversary of the Allied operation that saved Europe and incredible heroes who carried it out. I found it 180 brave men, happened to be all men at the time, who came back to Normandy this week with such pride and sense of devotion. I don't think anyone who got to meet them, shake their hands or hear their stories will ever forget their stories or the look in their eyes and the pride they took with what they did. But you could also see them remembering the lost comrades at the same time.